Hello, this is Antigone, your high-level ninja, hopefully helping you to get a better handle on using Confluence with Google Docs to get the information over to me to get everything set up for you. On the one hand, offering options, yay, flexibility. On the other hand, options, oh, I gotta make a decision which way is easiest. Okay, so what I did was I created this document in Google, your Google. So see how it's in your OBD GHL build folder. Then I created these tabs, and each tab has what's needed to figure out what's going to go into those particular builds. So let's say you want to create a site or funnel. Well, what you can do is you duplicate this tab. I'm going to move it down to the bottom just because that's the way my brain works. And so I'm going to say testing because I'm going to delete it anyway. So then in here, these particular instructions right here are specifically for Confluence because I'm assuming that you might be less familiar or not familiar at all with Confluence. A wireframe is best, what's our layout, anything else like that. So wireframe is basically, this is just the floor plan, and it's showing you this room is here, this room is here, this is where the toilet is in the bathroom, this is where the shower is in the bathroom, this is where the fireplace is in the living room. So it's that kind of thing, just a plain Jane image of what the layout is going to be. And so you might have multiple wireframes, multiple layouts, one for the landing page, one for the contact page, one for the offer page, if it's a funnel, one for the thank you page if it's a funnel, all that other kind of stuff. So attaching any of the wireframes that are needed for this. Because we have multiple pages on this, so this might be landing page, and then this one might be a contact page, and this one might be about page, and this one might be programs page. All right, so then you would take this right here and you would copy it once for the landing page, and then again for the contact page, and then again for the about page. And all right, so then when we have our wireframe, so one section is going to be this top part. So that would be the header, or so like the logo if you want to use the named boxes, or the header because that's this area up here, however you want to refer to it. So if we want to refer to it as, let's say the header includes the logo, tagline, search, and socials, okay? So for right now, we don't really have any files because that's just a text box, okay? So then the logo, which is part of the header, is going to have, and then you would put in here, so that would be our logo. And then our tagline would be words here. Then if you have a Word file or something else like that, you can either put the URL for it if I have access to it, or you can upload it, something else like that, put it in here. And then I have access to all of the copy. So it's however you want to break up these sections and put them in here. Then you would just do the same thing again for each of the different pages. Then, what are our related assets? Well, you know what? When they're up here and we have a call to action button, so we have call to action buttons. So CTA button calls request form. CTA button 2, I forgot to put the number 1 here, calls other form. And CTA button 3 calls another form. And let's see, what else might we have as related assets in this particular thing? So slideshow. Slideshow could be, slideshow uses all images in media storage, something like that, okay? Then actions and automations. So if they click CTA button 1, email confirmation, message to Cole, add to pipeline as new lead, etc. Click button 2, you know, on and on, that sort of stuff. So that is how we would set up the funnel. Okay, well then how does this get into Confluence? A couple of different ways. Jayden can either put all this directly into Confluence, or he can just copy it all. So then he would come over here, new website or funnel. That creates the new page, puts in the information about this. This is what I was talking about, that there are additional items in here to help guide through filling this out. Then from this point forward, he can either copy paste to put it where the content goes, or since he copied it all, you can just come in here, delete, and then paste. And it just brings it all over for him, okay? Whatever is easiest. Like I said, options are great because you can figure out what works best for you. But on the other hand, that means that you have to figure out which works best for the team.